Welcome, everyone, to a Big Ten Network chat. I'm Andy Katz, pleased to be joined by Rutgers' Geo Baker. And Geo, you have been very active on social media over the last couple of weeks, a week that I think none of us will ever forget. I mean, clearly, we are living in unprecedented times with a global pandemic, and now what has occurred since George Floyd's murder. It feels different than anything, at least in my lifetime, and I'm obviously quite a bit older than you. First, I want to get your just raw emotion of what you felt when you first saw that video and then saw sort of the aftermath and the reaction in the 24, 36, 48 hours after that.
Yeah, so the first time I saw it, I was getting ready to go to sleep and just laying in bed. And I couldn't sleep after I watched it. There was a lot of anger, sadness, just to see another human be treated that way. I didn't post anything on social media at first because I knew it was gonna be something dumb. It was gonna be something out of anger. Your first reaction as a Black male is to picture yourself in that situation. So that's kind of the first thing that I thought of. And I've seen other videos like that before, where it's the same thing. You kind of just picture yourself in that situation, and there's a lot of emotions with it. And I think that's the aftermath that we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of emotions and anger from a lot of people on social media right now. And I've been these past couple of days I've been trying to stay off social media because I feel that same anger. And it's really tough, just to go on social media every day and see all those different emotions. It's hard.
So look, I can't walk in your shoes. I haven't experienced what you have experienced in your lifetime. How often have you felt, not necessarily, or maybe, anything that has occurred to you that would be qualified as racism, but also just even targeted or singled out in your lifetime, an anecdote or something that has been, something that's really deep down troubled you in your lifetime?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a lot of things. There's more subtle things that the more you think about it, you're like, hold on. And then there's bigger things where I definitely have noticed I get pulled over more than my white friends, and I think I'm the best driver out of all of them. When they get pulled over and I'm in the passenger seat, the cop always comes to my side first. It's little things like that, that kind of make you think like why is this even happening? It used to happen to me in school where if there was any kind of trouble, I was kind of always the first kid to be blamed. So I feel like as a Black kid in a mostly white school, I had to be extraordinary just to make sure I didn't get in any type of trouble. So if I was anything less than extraordinary, it felt like then I was at a disadvantage. So that was kind of the biggest thing for me, is just recognizing that. And I had to act a certain way.
What's that feeling like in those seconds, those moments, when a police officer or anyone of authority is singling you out, and the potential of the situation escalating, can really, it's a fine line as to where that situation could go.
Yeah, it's scary, honestly. When I get pulled over, I'm scared. And social media has a big effect on that too. I think that this past week I've been more scared driving than ever. So it's just a scary feeling. But I have a great mom who's, she taught me at a young age I need to act differently, and that's the reality of the world right now. But I don't want to make this into a negative feelings type of thing. What I've been trying to do lately on social media is bring people together. Try to find positivity in all this. And I think the greatest thing that we've seen from social media is all the energy, all the positive energy coming from so many different races. People are really uniting, and it feels a lot different than, I was talking to my mom about it. It feels a lot different than the protests in the past. There's a lot of positive energy with everything. And that's something that, I'm really happy about.
What do you anticipate life being like when you return to Rutgers?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all starts with, the pandemic. It's going to be tough to get back to normal life, you know, until that's kind of figured out. And you know, I'm not a doctor, so I have no idea how that you know, that's going to work out. But in terms of everything else, you know, we've had great conversations as a team, as a program, and you know, what we want to do is you know, be more doers than just talkers. We don't want to just talk on social media and you know, bring up the conversation. We want to try to make change, and so that's something that we're really just, you know, we're talking about right now, different things that we can do. You know, for me, I've been telling all the guys, just make sure you educate yourselves on, you know, on what's going on in the world today, and you know, just, you know, staying up to date on everything, so that way you know, knowledge is power. So just knowing that you have that, and then once you have that knowledge, how can you apply it to make a change? So I think that you know, us being able to go out into the community, you know, do certain things in the community, do different things in the community can help make a change.
Well, there's no question though, Gio. I think from a social media perspective, you know, maybe 6 months ago, maybe even less, I think a lot of players would have felt a little reluctant to fully express their views in the public space.
Absolutely.
I don't see any of that now, and I don't see those doors closing again. And if you feel something, you're going to share it. And I don't see in any way that a coach, an athletic director, or a school president, anyone would stop you, or I just can't anticipate them blocking that, that freedom of expression. How much do you think it has changed within weeks of student athletes feeling comfortable to say, you know what, I'm going to express myself, even if potentially this, you know, might upset, you know, a coach or whomever?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's crazy how completely different it is actually, you know, like before in the past, you know, there's a lot of things you think about as an athlete because, you know, it may affect your pro career. And you know, when you really think about it, it really shouldn't. But, you know, you think about all these different things that it may affect. It may, you know, you don't want to hurt your coach's feelings. You don't want to hurt, you know, NBA GM's feelings that may be looking at you. And, but like you said, now, you know, players everywhere are you know, standing up and saying what's right.
And clearly you've been empowered by your coaching staff because obviously there's a comfort level. And you guys got a great family there at Rutgers and a team, by the way. I know it's a hard segue, but I'm pretty high on. I think you guys have got a great shot to compete for the top of the Big Ten next season. Obviously, hopefully we have the season that we all hope. Just overall, before I let you go, I mean, you're feeling somewhat optimistic about not just life in general, hopefully here, but also what you're going back to at Rutgers?
Yeah. You know, like I said, I've been trying to stay really positive, you know, trying to turn all this negative emotions, anger and sadness into something good, into a good change. And then, you know, I'm hoping for positive things on the court as well too. So I'm really excited for, you know, what's ahead, and I can't wait.
Well, Geo, more than anything, stay safe and hope to talk to you soon when you're back on the court. Appreciate it.
You too. I really appreciate it.